My question comes out of Judges chapter 21. This is in regards to the Levite priest who had a concubine, went into the tribe of Benjamin and stayed with a family there. And another family came and tried to take him over. He gave them their concubine, and they raped her unto the point of death. And then he ended up cutting up the concubine who had passed away or was murdered, and sent him to the rest of the tribes. And the rest of the tribes went to war against Benjamin. My question is, and this is neither here nor there, not doctrinal, I'm sure. It says, now men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, there shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife. My question comes as 300 years later, when Saul was king, he gave who was a Benjamite, gave his daughter to King David. My only question was when was that decree in Mizpah lifted, or did it go away when the high priest died, or did it go away when Saul was made king?
Well, it seems to be in the rest of the chapter. If you look there, you'll see that when they realized what they had done, that they had ostracized one of the tribes of Israel, they realized that the thing that they did was wrong. And this is why I believe the Bible is very clear on being very careful on oaths that we make, because people oftentimes overreact to circumstances. We say things that we shouldn't do. And we find that all the way through the Bible. Well, the first thing that walks through the door, God, I will sacrifice to you. I guess he was thinking his dog or a cow was going to walk through the front door, and his daughter walks. So when we look at all these different things, people speaking irrationally through the Bible. And this is why I believe we need to be quick to forgive and slow to anger, because I think we do things and say things sometimes when we're angry that when we really would logically think it through, we would never do those things. And so when you look at the rest of the chapter, how they allowed some of the daughters of Israel then to become brides for the tribe of Benjamin. Your thoughts on that, Derald?
Yeah, if I understood what you were asking is how they get their wives and so forth for what was left of the Benjamites and so forth. I think the answer for us is found in the verse 13 of chapter 21 of Judges. It says, then the whole congregation sent word to the children of Benjamin who were at the rock of Rimmon and announced peace to them. So Benjamin came back at that time, and they gave them the women whom they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead, and yet they had not found enough for them. So that's probably where the wives that they ended up taking, because the catastrophe of these tribes fighting each other, thousands upon thousands were killed, and thus that they got the wives from those folks there. So I think that probably is the answer you're looking for. I think it is anyway. Am we hitting it on target there, my friend?
Yeah, and when you look at verse 22 as an example, where it talks about this oath that was made, I always call this the babe grab. Now, this is a very strange thing. What it is they said when the ladies come out to do their dance at the festival, you guys lie in wait, and then when they come out, you just grab one you like, haul her off. I mean, Derald, this is kind of like crazy stuff. This is the babe grab. And because here's why. It says, then it will be when the fathers or their brothers come to us and complain, that we will say to them, be kind to them for our sakes, because we did not take a wife for any of them for war, for it was not as though you had given the young women to them at this time. Here it is, making yourselves guilty of your oath. Going back to that earlier oath that you spoke of. Derald, any last thoughts?
No, I think that's about it. I think we covered it. Does that help you out, my friend?
Yes, well, mine was a little bit more academic, and it was more pertaining to how David was able to marry the daughter of Saul, who was a Benjamite. That was more in line my question. I do see that, though. I didn't see that for the men that were guilty of their oath. but like I said, mine was more of an academic question. I just didn't know if that oath was held to the same way as somebody who had committed murder and was hiding in a city of refuge. That went away when the high priest died. So no, mine more pertained to a King David and marrying the daughter of a Benjamite.
Well, and there may be a clause in here too. If you go to verse 25, it says, "And in those days there was no king in Israel, and everyone did what was right in his own eyes." So they may very well view this oath that was made simply as everyone doing what was right in their own eyes rather than God directed. And so I think, again, we have to always really be careful when we make kind of outlandish oaths on things, because I believe that those things will and can get you in a lot of trouble. And so they may have nullified that because of verse 25, that it was just simply a group of people doing what they wanted to do. There was no real law or king in the land. So hope that helps.